Hi, welcome to another episode of The Driveway. So today we're going to take a look at the new 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser, which just got revealed last night. And after about a 2 or 3 year hiatus, it's returning stateside, which is pretty exciting. Just to give everybody a little bit of a reminder of where the Land Cruiser sat previously within the Toyota lineup, it really went 4Runner, Sequoia, Land Cruiser at the top, which was also the biggest and most expensive vehicle Toyota offered at the time. In 2021, a fully loaded Land Cruiser would really be over $90,000. So now, as you can see here, we're looking at it starting in the mid 50s, which is really surprising, to be honest. And it's going to be interesting to see kind of where they slot that between the Sequoia and now the upcoming 4Runner, which should be released sometime in 2024, 2025. So we're staying tuned for that one, but we'll see how it all shakes out. When we take a look at some of these pictures, you can really see that the new Land Cruiser is embracing this very angular, boxy, tough look, this rough and tough look that, they really haven't had in years past. Flip through some of these, you'll see these round headlights, which I think is pretty interesting. It really harkens back to the FJ Cruiser, which a lot of people really liked. But on this second trim here, which I found super interesting as well, it's not your imagination. There's two different headlights. So on the base model called the 1985 Land Cruiser, you'll have the rounded ones as well as the first edition. And then here in the mid-tier trim, just called Land Cruiser, you have your more traditional rectangular lights. That being said, though, they did really do something pretty cool here with this white roof. Those of you who remember that FJ Cruiser again, can see some good looks of it here. That had a white roof as well. So either you can get maybe it's independent, but on the base model, you can have those round lights, or in the mid-tier, you can get the white roof, just like that FJ Cruiser. So I don't know if that means that the FJ Cruiser is definitely not coming back, but they're certainly sending those vibes here with the new Land Cruiser. So from an upgrade perspective, it looks like the new Land Cruiser is going to ride on that same TNGA platform that Toyota's adopting across their whole lineup, right? Which is pretty, expected. It's going to give them a lot more uniformity. It'll be easier, again, from a repair perspective and everything that Toyota is known for. They really do find some economies of scale there as they kind of unify all their vehicles here. So that's good. What I thought was interesting as well, though, is that it's going to be 7.5 inches shorter than the international version of the Land Cruiser, which then places it only slightly larger than the new, or well, I should say the current 4Runner. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of where they position this within their full lineup, specifically within Toyota, and then more broadly within Toyota and Lexus. We'll talk a little bit more about the differences between this 2024 Land Cruiser and then subsequently the GX Lexus that we just saw a few weeks ago. So unsurprisingly, the approach and departure angles are slightly worse than the 4Runner. Probably better than the Sequoia, but that being said, it doesn't have 3 rows. So, I'm not quite sure where they're trying to market this exactly quite yet. It'll probably be more apparent in the near future once this sort of comes to market. But right now, I'm just not quite sure where this is trying to slot in. It becomes even more interesting when you look at the engine that they're putting in here, right? So it's going to use the 2.4-liter turbocharged, not the V6 that's in the Lexus GX, which I'm a little surprised about that, but I guess, they had to give up something to kind of hit that $50,000 price point, which really is going to be the driver of really, I think, the success overall. The engine itself, though, is certainly powerful, right? It's 326 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque. That's strong, right? I mean, that's a lot of torque. Toyota is usually not known for their super powerful engines. So hopefully this can kind of keep up and move this along. It's going to be a big vehicle, so we'll just have to wait and see there. So at the end of the day, I think it's pretty clear that Toyota is going to have a pretty big hit on their hands as long as they can kind of maintain that price point. Once you start creeping up into the $70,000 range, $80,000 range, you're going to be looking at fully loaded Sequoias that are going to have more capacity. So those will be 7-seaters, 3 rows, right? So I'm just not quite sure whether they'll be able to hit it. Mid-50s, sure, it can start there. Let's just see. But, if they can really launch a Land Cruiser now that's going to be $30,000 cheaper than the prior version, that's pretty exciting. Let me know what you think of this repositioning by Toyota. Would you prefer that the Land Cruiser had a little bit more luxury and we just left the whole off-road job to the 4Runner? If you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button and then hit the bell to subscribe so you can stay up to date as we look to relaunch this channel and get things back rolling again. See you next time.